What's up, guys? We are back, and I'm looking at some more NBA plays today over on PrizePicks. Yesterday went 1-1. Jalen Johnson sucked yesterday. Sold the taco on PrizePicks. It's a bad day for discounts on PrizePicks yesterday with two of the tacos missing. DubClub was able to get some profit yesterday, though, I will say, with this 5.5x cash, as you can see right here. Had this entry as the last play of the night. Harden assists, which was in yesterday's video. Collins points, Doncic PRA, and you can see we cashed out for 5.5x right there in the third quarter. So overall, looking to get back to the winners tonight. Got a nice little two-man for you guys today, a shortened down version of a four-man from the DubClub. With that being said, though, if you guys have not already leaving a like on this video, be sure to do so. 100 likes, I drop a bonus play for tomorrow's NFL video. And while you're down on leaving a like, be sure to also subscribe to the channel with the notifications turned on. That way you don't miss out on future videos from me, and you get in before these lines get bumped or get removed. And if you have not already seen the DubClub, don't miss out in joining. It is 50% off with the link available in my description. I'm one of the few guys out there that are legitimately profitable on PrizePicks, and I'm in like the top 0.1% probably of profit on PrizePicks. You see, I've personally made over $11,000 of profit over on PrizePicks. You can see some of the different testimonies from guys in the DubClub. Some of our big winners from like the MLB season, for example, but of course, we're still cashing on NBA, NHL, NFL. But when you do join the DubClub with that 50% off offer in my description, be sure to also connect your Discord to DubClub, because that gets you access to all the different perks over in my Discord. That includes my correlation plays, where you'll find the 5.5x from yesterday and a bunch of my NHL plays as well, which we have a 15-game NHL slate tonight, by the way. We have killed the NHL all season long. You get my community chat to talk to me and other members about plays or whatever is going on, as well as all of my contributors posting their plays, whether that's Cap with his 5s and 6-mans. You have Nev's NFL plays, you have Elo soccer plays, you have some NBA plays from Emo, as well as some golf plays from Asmies. These guys all do some amazing work. With that out of the way, though, let's get to these free plays. Be sure to play responsibly at your own risk. Leave a like on this video here and subscribe if you have not already. And let's get to these plays. The first play I like on the PrizePicks board for this slate is going to be Devin Booker over his assists at 7.5 against Sacramento tonight. So Devin Booker has actually not been the best in his last 5 games. So we kind of did the same thing with Harden yesterday. Harden has never been over in his last 5 games. We took him over yesterday. He went over pretty easily in the third quarter. So doing the same thing here with Devin Booker. He's only averaging 6.8 in his last 5 games here, but he's in a very good matchup now against the Sacramento Kings. So Devin Booker this year has been over his line in only 33%, which is 6 out of 18 games. He has fallen on 7 quite a few times, so if you want a safer option, you can take his Goblin over 6.5 if you wanted to. This is a top 3 matchup for him against the Sacramento Kings today. They are allowing 29.2 assists allowed per game this year, ranking 28th in the NBA. So very good for us there. And his potential numbers have actually been pretty solid, especially as of the last 4 games. Now, the last game here against Houston was not the best for him, but it was kind of a blowout loss type of game where he had 8 potential assists, but it was also a bottom 5 matchup. Now we're getting a top 3 matchup. You had 17 potential assists here for him against the Spurs. When you have 17 potential assists, you should be having about 10 assists. He had only 7 in that game. His team was basically shooting 7 for 17 off of his passes. He's actually averaging 14.5 potential assists this year. With him having 14 plus potentials in 3 of his last 4 games, I feel pretty good about him having at least 14 potential assists. And when you look at games in the past year where he's had at least 14 potentials, he's only over in 60% this year, but 75% last season. It really is just kind of due to variance and these guys just not shooting as well as they should off of Devin Booker's passes. I mean, you see the Denver game here where he had 7. See the Spurs game here where he had 7. He had 17 potential assists in both of those games. They shot 7 for 17 basically off of his pass. That is simply not sustainable when he usually has, you can see this game against Minnesota, for example. He had only 16 potentials in that game. He had 10 assists. You can see the difference here between 7 assists and 10 assists when he had less potentials here against Minnesota. But like I said, this matchup's even better now for him against Sacramento. So we get 14 potentials. They should hopefully shoot a little bit better here against the Sacramento team, which has been allowing a ton of points and is one of the worst teams in the league currently, actually. You can look at games where he's had just exactly 14 potentials. He had 3 against Sacramento there, which we'll talk about in a second, and then 5 there against Portland. Last year, he was 3 for 3. He had 9, 8, and 8. It's just really due to bad shooting off of his passes. And like I said, though, that's Sacramento. He's playing Sacramento today, and I'm backing him against them. But you can see he had 36 minutes in that game where he had 14 potentials, 3 assists on 14 potential assists. He should have had at least 8 in that matchup, in my opinion. I think they easily could have had 8 made shots off of 14 potentials. The odds are also slightly in our favor here. It's like a -120 on most apps out there, -118. It's a little bit, paying out a little bit more on the under, which is good for us, of course. when you're playing this on PrizePicks. But you can see here in his past matchups, though, against Sacramento, he's always had a ton of potential assists. 24, 16, and 25, and then 14 in, of course, the game from this year. But overall, I think he's in a great spot. They are 4.5 point favorites here on the road. And overall, it usually is a pretty good sign when a guy's been only over this line one of his last 6 games, yet is slightly favored on the over with this line being as high as it is. So I'm feeling good for Devin Booker here in Sacramento. If this scares you a little bit, you can always take this one at 6.5 or just not play it at all, obviously. But I feel pretty good about the spot for Devin Booker today and his over for his assists. Now, before we get to the next play in this video, if you guys haven't yet seen Sleeper, is in my opinion one of the best apps out there right now. And if you sign up using my promo code DOMG, you can get a first on deposit match up to $100, a free square, and a free $20 without depositing. It is the best promos in the game, and they usually have promos all the time on this board, pretty much every single day. I think once it's like noon today, they'll probably end up putting some stuff onto the board as some like boosts or discounts. They have things pretty much every single day. I can't remember the last time where I haven't seen a promo over on Sleeper. But the next thing I'm going to talk about is actually going to be over on Sleeper because it gives us a better line than PrizePicks does. So we're going to go ahead and put in Devin Booker, of course, here for his assist because that's our first play from this video, of course. Pays out higher than PrizePicks does. It's a 1.81x. And the next play is not going to be a better payout than PrizePicks, but it's going to be a better line because it's going to be Giannis over his assists at 5.5 here. So it pays out 2.98 on Sleeper, which is very important here. 2.98x here. So it's a little bit less than PrizePicks at a 3x, but PrizePicks actually has Giannis at 6 assists. So you're completely eliminating the push potential for Giannis on PrizePicks. And you're taking a 0.2x payout less of a payout than PrizePicks. Does that make sense? You're getting much better value on Sleeper is what I'm trying to say. So if you don't want to join, I'm playing this entry today over on Sleeper. It's actually a 4-man over in the DubClub. It's just a shortened down version of it. But if you want to join Sleeper, promo code DOMG when signing up. But like I was saying earlier, Giannis is actually going to be at 6 assists on PrizePicks, and it really should not actually, to be honest. It really should be at 5.5. It's only like a minus 135 on the over, but PrizePicks sometimes just bumps it when it gets close to that range. But anyways, Giannis I think is in a great spot. He's been over his assists in 54% of games this year at 5.5, pushing this line one time this year in a tough matchup against Dallas. Now he has a little bit of a better matchup here on paper overall, I guess. Not necessarily position-wise, but overall, 26.8 assists per game is what they allow, ranking 16th in the NBA. And I think he's in a great spot. I mean, you can see his potentials here. He's at 11, 23, 13, and 10 in his last 4 games here. Although I will say this game against Cleveland is the game he left with an injury. He played only 13 minutes in that game. Still likely would have gone over. He played 31 minutes in that game, of course. I will say, though, he is questionable today. If he is ruled out, the century will just be a do not play, obviously. But obviously, I'm hoping that Giannis does end up playing in this game. But in games this year where he's had at least 30 minutes playing, also, by the way, over in 7 out of 10 games, as you can see right there. Past matchups against the Heat, he's had 4, 7, and 10. So his most 2 recent matchups against the Heat were amazing. 7 and 10 assists right there. Potential numbers, 8, 12, and 16. As you can see right there. I like the matchup overall, though. Like, it's really weird because the matchup on paper is not the best, but there's not a lot of guards, or there's not a lot of forwards and centers out there that can pass the way that Giannis does. I mean, they rank in the bottom 5 for both power forward and center assists allowed per game, but look at some of the guys that they're playing. Like, you're not going to see Andre Drummond really dish out assists like crazy, but you have like Vukovic here with 3 assists there, with his line being 3.5. Karl-Anthony Townsend 4 assists, his line was 3.5. You look at power forwards if you wanted to. You can see Trendon here from the 76ers had 7 assists, with the line being 2.5. Paul George had 5 assists there, as you can see. So the matchup is a little bit more than it just is on paper. Makes a lot of sense to me here, too, with the line being what it is, too, like a minus 145, minus 150 on the over, despite the fact he's been under this in 2 straight games and is coming off the injury. I think it is a pretty good sign for us still here for Giannis and his over assist. I have some little bit of a correlation factored in with a sleeper play over on the DubClub. We did very well with that concept yesterday over on the DubClub, of course, cashing out this taco play there between Collins and Harden. Obviously very correlated. I mean, Harden dished out 3, maybe even 4 assists to John Collins, so it just made a lot of sense, obviously. I mean, you get 8 points towards Collins' total. You get like 3 or 4 assists towards James Harden's total. It just makes a lot of sense there, and it paid off very, very well yesterday. So got that concept kind of on lock there over in the DubClub. But with that being said, if you guys want to get some more plays from me, join the DubClub. It is 50% off with the link available in my description. Gets you access to all of my plays, all sports, everything. And I hope to see you guys in tomorrow's video. Best of luck. If you want to see how I made over $5,000 of profit on PrizePicks, watch this video on your screen right here. It's actually now over $10,000 of profit.